Hey, what's going on? It's Stokely from Sauce on Dulé. Whoa, I just got myself a new ratchet for my car because I left my old ratchets outside in the rain, and they got rusty and now it doesn't work. So for me to even get it to work, there's a few ways I can do it. I can take it apart. I can take the tools apart and clean them, or I can give it to somebody that has an ultrasonic cleaner. They'll put it into some oil. The oil will vibrate. The ultrasonic cleaner will vibrate the tools to the point where the rust just comes right off of it. It's an amazing process. But I don't think I'm gonna do that. I think I'm gonna probably try to manually clean everything. So far the rust is just superficial. So I think I'll be all right. Just using a brush and cleaning them. Anyhow, so when I bought the new ratchet, it's a cheap ratchet. So the story happened. I went and I got a battery. And when you go to AutoZone and buy a battery, they try to sneak a little kit in with your battery purchase, which they call a battery protection kit, which it's some dielectric grease, which I already have a big container of, and some foam pads, I guess to kind of soak up some of the acid or whatever it's supposed to do. Now this kit costs $3 and about 40-something cents. This little cheap ratchet cost me about $3.99 before taxes, about $4.32 after taxes. And it has the California Proposition 65 warning on it. Warning, cancer and reproductive harm. Right? This little ratchet. Now the reason why this ratchet probably has that on it is because it has a rubber handle on it, which is not really typical for a ratchet. Typically they're what they call knurled, which means that they put these little grooves inside. They put these little grooves on the surface of it to increase the grip. But this one is not knurled. Instead, they kind of dipped it into a hard rubber or plastic and molded it. They molded a handle onto it, which, it doesn't really make a difference to me because it only costs $4. Now I have my good ratchet, which is all rustied up. That still works, but it doesn't lock on to the tools. So what I'm risking is my tools falling into the car. Like yesterday, I was working on my car and I dropped one of my nuts inside of somewhere. I don't know where it fell. But when you drop a screw or a nut or a bolt, it goes everywhere except where you think it's supposed to go, and you can't find it anymore. So I don't know, maybe a few years from now I'll find it and I'll be like, where did this nut come from? What is this for? And I won't remember anyway. But I think it's wonderful that California puts this Prop 65 notice on these products. Cancer and reproductive harm. Now, working on your car is, oh man, to me it's such a therapeutic experience. It seems like my coolant is still leaking out. It's such a therapeutic experience for me. I really enjoy it. It's like it's starting a project and seeing it come to fruition and solving a problem, and it just feels good, to take something from broken to repaired, take something from not working to working. I enjoy it. Now, aside from that, I think it's good physical exercise, but one of the drawbacks is it's very messy. There's fluids that spill all over the place no matter what you try. There's chemicals that get under your skin, under your fingers. These things are poisonous. These things are carcinogens. And it gives, just thinking about it gives me a bigger appreciation for mechanics that, they change your oil and they do all these things, do all the service to your vehicle. And they're required to dispose of these chemicals properly. They're required to dispose of the antifreeze glycol properly. They're required to dispose of gasoline properly. They're required to dispose of the used oil properly. They're required to dispose of the old greasy parts properly, the old greasy rags and stuff like that. And it's and they encounter and deal with emissions, exhaust, brake dust, all these things. Like brakes used to be made out of asbestos. Isn't that scary? That's why they have a brake company named Raybestos. They have a brake company named Raybestos. A whole bunch of brakes used to be made out of asbestos. So, you know, our environment is pretty much very, I don't want to be scary, you know, hyperbole, but our environment is kind of polluted. And some of this pollution has been around since, I don't know, you know, 1800s. Or, you know, since the industrial era. You know, remember that Rome used to have lead pipes carrying water. So we're coming from a very polluted environment. Lead paint everywhere. Lead paint was probably only discontinued in the 1950s. You know, so it's nothing to really worry about. Let me turn off the heat on my seat. It's nothing to really get scary about, you know. But a lot of our environment is contaminated. I remember that once I went to a seminar at York College where they were thinking of reopening a water pump station because the water in Queens, New York comes from wells. It comes from underground. And there were a few what they call brown sites or Superfund sites where there was pollution leached into the groundwater table. There's a dry cleaners that leach some chemicals. There was a gas station that leached some chemicals, and it's kind of worrisome. Now Long Island also gets water from wells, and Long Island is known. Well, it's becoming more known for having a water system that's polluted with carcinogens, and it's costing a lot of people their lives. So Prop 65, I really appreciate what California is doing and putting these notices on it, because guess what? I could have bought another wrench, you know. I could have bought a straight up metal wrench, probably without this rubber grip on it, and it would have not had a Prop 65 warning on it because it's all metal. So we're working with products in our home that, you know, are potentially dangerous. I'm so thankful for this labeling. But anyhow, a lot of the products that I use to work on my car, whether it's dielectric grease or anti-seize grease or you know, WD-40 just to loosen up the bolts, all these things have a potential cancer causing factor to them because they penetrate the skin, for one thing, you know. And you know, I really gotta, like I said, I really gotta take my hat off to the mechanics. And you know, there's really no excuse, but you know, if I had oodles of money, I would just take my car to a mechanic and have the mechanic fix my car. Now, we can't compare money to the health of the planet. We can't compare money to pollution. We can't compare money to the life of the animals and our own health. You know, so I don't want to, I'm not poo-pooing it, and I'm not dismissing anything, and I'm not trivializing anything, but that's my main motivation for why you left the door open. You left the door open, miss. That's one of the main reasons why I do my own work on my car. To save money, I was online. Well, anyhow, I had to change my gas tank one time. They told me $4,000. Then I had to change my starter. The guy told me $1,000, even if I bought the part. $1,000 in labor. So I ended up doing it myself. It took me 4 days. But, it took me 4 days and losing sleep for one whole day because I was up all night working on it. And so it wasn't really good for my health, but it worked out. I fixed it. I felt accomplished, felt good, and I still own a vehicle, still driving it, and I didn't have to spend $1,000. Now, how much did that sleep cost me? I can't say me not losing a night of sleep. You know, if it was more than one night of sleep, I would have been messed up. But I was definitely not really. I was out of it kind of for the next maybe 3 days. I was working from 8 o'clock in the night right back to about 7 o'clock in the morning. And then I went to work. And my eyes were burning and I was just like all messed up. Anyhow, so Prop 65, you know, props to Prop 65. Now on something, you know, so it's good to read our labels and look at what things are saying. There's things that are dangerous to us that we don't even know, but we're learning about every day. But unfortunately, we're learning about them because there are casualties happening as a result of people coming in contact with these products and in contact with these things. So it's very tragic, you know. It's very tragic. What am I saying? I don't really have much else to say. But I want to talk about something else now on a more social basis, which is what I end up talking about a lot. You know, sometimes you can have friends that want to limit you, that want to crush you, want to destroy you, want to put out your candle to make theirs shine brighter. You know, and how do you identify them? It takes experience, and it takes listening very carefully. You know, when you want to do something that is going to move you forward, when you want to do something that's progressive or something that's going to make you shine brighter. Now, this isn't just vapid, low vibration, flexing or buying a Gucci or doing something low vibration like materialism. That's not what I'm talking about. Or seeking public approval just for no reason. But let's say, you know, you have a real project or a real goal or a real assignment or a real job or a real hobby or a real opportunity that's not just something that's shallow, that you're going to do, that's going to uplift you and give you recognition, or maybe not even give you a recognition, give you exposure, give you, just increase you in a positive way, right? More money, more visibility, more exposure, more access, whatever the case may be. And they're trying to put the kibosh on that with negativity, trying to say to you, why should you do that? Why are you gonna do that? You know? It can't be something shallow though. Something that's substantial, something that's whatever. You know what I mean? Something that doesn't even hurt anybody either. But they're saying, why are you gonna do that? Why you shouldn't do that, or you know, that's not a good idea, or whatever the case may be. It's not hurting anybody. It's giving you more success, more visibility, more access, and they want to put the kibosh on that. They want to put a bad mouth on it. You know that person is a hater. You need to stay away from them, and don't tell them about what you're doing, anything that's good that you're doing. Just stay away from them. Try to put as much distance as between yourself and them as possible. You know. So that's all I gotta say about that. You know, they wanna monopolize your time. They wanna cut you off from people that are not a threat to you. Maybe not even a threat to them either. Not a threat to them in a substantial basis. But that person is a dangerous person, and they will destroy you. Like I said, they will put out your light to make theirs shine brighter because they want to make it all about them, but they're not willing to make the sacrifices and do the work to appropriate those things themselves, to earn those things themselves. They want to use your light to make their light brighter, either by putting it out or getting a light off of you or something like that. You see what I'm saying? So you got to be careful about these negative naysayers. You know what I mean? I hope you understand what I mean. It's hard to detect, you know. Like I said, it's kind of hard sometimes to tell whether someone's giving you advice or they're trying to diss you, you know. And it's hard, especially like, let's say, for instance, you're a young person and you want to do something stupid, shallow, low vibration, unsustainable, and your parents telling you don't do that, and you think that they're a hater, but they're not a hater. You want to be a musician, you want to go study social studies, or you want to study art or music or I don't know, literature or communications in school, and they're telling you to study STEM so that you can take care of yourself. You can do all of those creative art things on your own leisure time after you're able to take care of yourself. And you think that's hate. No, that's not hate. They're trying to make sure that you'll be able to provide for yourself, just like teaching you how to wipe your butt, teaching you how to use a spoon, use a fork, say your ABCs, add 1 + 2. You getting a job and be able to take care of yourself is one of those basic things. Now, you coming out of school now with a degree in art or music or some other non-essential activity that people are doing without degrees, then, well, you're not gonna be able to take care of yourself. That's one of the basic things that you should be doing. Unless you're gonna be a teacher, but teachers don't really make a living wage, as we are already observed. And I think that shouldn't be the case. Teachers should be some of the highest paid people, because and doctors and teachers and EMTs, and especially EMTs, yeah, doctors, teachers, EMTs, you know, they should be some of the highest paid people. They're some of the most important people, you know. Anyhow, so watch out for those haters that are trying to take you away from your thing, you know, from whatever you're doing. You want to do for, like I'm saying, you know, you got your stuff figured out. You can, listen, you can go ahead and do your art. I'm not trying to poo-poo art. You can go ahead and do your music. I'm not trying to poo-poo music. Make sure you can take care of yourself first. You know, that's not hate. That's just telling you to take care of yourself and make sure that you are self-sufficient and you can sustain yourself. Sustainability. Now, the next thing is that, you know, try not to waste anything. Nothing is wasted. I mean, you can waste these people by getting away from them. That's okay. Stay away from people. But nothing is wasted. You know, recently somebody gave me something somebody gave me something, right? They gave me some boxes of juice, right? And then I was supposed to take it somewhere and give it to somebody else, in theory, right? So the person who I was giving it to said they didn't want it. So guess what? I took it, I brought it to work, I put it in the fridge, I drink it. Some other people drink it sometimes. The same person gave me some eggs. I was supposed to give it to a person. The person said they didn't want the eggs, for whatever made up reason that they didn't want them. So I took the eggs, I brought them to work, I ate some, the workers ate some. You know what I'm saying? So nothing should go to waste. Nothing that's useful should go to waste, in my opinion. The earth doesn't waste anything. The earth doesn't waste anything. I mean, some of these man-made things, these pollutants that we add to the earth are terrible. But otherwise, going back to the more sustainable earth, pre-human corruption time, the earth doesn't waste anything. I got some ants in my house. You know, thank God I don't have any roaches. I definitely got rid of the roaches. I'm very much for the animals, but not roaches. Okay, sorry, forgive me. Not in my house. So anyhow, got rid of the roaches. So anyhow, the roaches provide a purpose though. Roaches eat garbage. Maggots eat garbage. Ants eat garbage. All of these things that we find disgusting, creepy, crawly, scary, they clean up the whole earth. The maggots clean up the meat, whatever's left of it. The ants, they clean up the meat, they clean up the plants. The roaches, they clean up the plants, they clean up everything. The roly-polies, they clean up the wood. The carpenter ants, they clean up the wood, they break down the wood. The termites, they break down the wood. You see what I'm saying? So nothing is going to waste. They all eat these things, or either they eat them, or they digest them, or they break them down. Even a forest fire serves a purpose. A forest fire germinates certain kind of plants. A forest fire also destroys a lot of area, but certain plants need a fire in order to germinate. Now, what else? There's so many things the earth provides. Like the sun will destroy things. Like if you leave some, I have some stuff in my yard. I put it outside, and you can see how the sun just beats down on it. The sun just bleaches it. Sun bleached, they would call it. If you have a piece of clothes, I had a shirt actually. I put it outside, a blue shirt. I left it outside for a little while, and the shirt started to lose its color. So, nothing is wasted. Okay, I know you want some water. I'm going to get you some more water. Don't worry about it. Nothing is wasted on the earth. So try not to waste things. Try not to, stay away from the consumerism. The more consumerism, the more manufacturing. We can find jobs for everybody. We can find activities for everybody to do. We don't have to manufacture excess amounts of garbage and trinkets to sustain ourselves. There's so much work to be done to be economic drivers, to circulate money, do all our hands so we can touch a little money. You touch some money, I touch some money. Anyhow, that's what I say, So, nothing should be wasted. Nothing should be wasted, in my opinion. I don't like to waste food, too, I got cats in my yard. The cats like to tear open the garbage can and... Okay, I know. The cats like to tear open the garbage can and eat all the stuff in there that they can find remnants of. So, that's pretty cool. Anyhow, I don't really have much else to say. Try not to waste anything if you can. But, I'm kind of a hoarder. I hoard things a lot. So, I'm always saying, oh, I can use this. Oh, I can use that. And some of these things are old, obsolete technology. Fortunately, I don't have any floppy disks anymore. But I still have old ATX form factor computers. I don't even know what form factor computers are up to now, but I have old computers, I have old laptops, I have old radios, I have old DVDs. Nobody even watches DVDs anymore, so I'm kind of a hoarder, so you gotta, somehow balance that out. Not wasting things. But there's somebody out there that might want what you have. Like Facebook Marketplace is a good place to get rid of stuff. You want to get rid of some stuff, post it on Facebook Marketplace. Let somebody else use it. Somebody else can find some utility for it. They want it right now. So anyhow, thank you for listening, and look out for that Prop 65 warning on these things, and try to stay clean as possible. I need to talk about, well, I'm not gonna do it now. Hopefully I remember, but I need to talk about the World Economic Forum released a chart showing that the majority of plastic that we end up consuming comes from bottled water. So this whole time we're thinking that, oh man, I'm gonna drink some clean water from this bottle. It's actually the #1 source of plastics that we're consuming. Strangely enough, they said that pipe water, public water from the utilities, contains less plastic than the bottled water. Anyhow, so hopefully one day I hope to talk about that. But hey, thanks for listening.